Hi, welcome to this overview for the Autocare Technician Endpoint Assessment Requirements. This presentation will cover the requirements and format of the three assessment types within this apprenticeship standard and assessment plan. The first assessment type we will cover is the online knowledge assessments. The knowledge assessments are split into two separate assessments, Knowledge Test Part A and Part B. Knowledge tests are conducted either at the apprentice's training provider, where the assessments are scheduled and invigilated by the training provider, or remotely accessed and invigilated by an IMI-provided proctor. Knowledge Test Part A consists of 50 questions. These questions will be in a multi-choice format. The apprentice will have allocated 60 minutes to complete this knowledge assessment. The grading for this assessment is based on each of the three areas listed on this slide. A pass grade requires a minimum of 8 out of 10 marks for Area 1, 6 out of 10 marks for Area 2, and 18 out of 30 for Area 3. A distinction grade requires a minimum of 10 out of 10 correct marks for Area 1, 9 out of 10 for Area 2, and 27 out of 30 for Area 3. Knowledge Test Part B consists of 20 questions. These questions will be in multi-choice, drop-down menu, or drag-and-drop format. The apprentice will be allocated 45 minutes to complete this knowledge assessment. The grading for this assessment are again based on each of the three listed areas. A pass grade requires a minimum of 8 out of 10 marks for Area 1, 6 out of 10 marks for Area 2, and 18 out of 30 for Area 3. A distinction grade requires a minimum of 10 out of 10 for Area 1, 9 out of 10 for Area 2, and 27 out of 30 for Area 3. The questions within Knowledge Test Part A are based on the knowledge areas shown in the image along with the grading requirements. These details and further details regarding the knowledge assessment requirements and grading can be found within the assessment plan. The questions within Knowledge Test Part B are based on the knowledge areas shown in this image along with the grading requirements. These details again and further details regarding the knowledge assessment requirements and grading can be found within the assessment plan. The second type of assessment for the Autocare endpoint assessment are the practical observations. These assessments are conducted in a workshop provided by the training provider, or alternatively, if requested, the IMI can provide workshops for these assessments to take place. There are 5 individual practical tasks that each apprentice will complete. The 5 practical assessments will take place over a 1-day period. The combined time of all 5 tasks will be approximately 6 hours. All skills assessments are observed and graded by an independent IMI assessor. Each of the 5 practical observations are allocated a specific time they need to be completed in. The independent IMI assessor can afford up to 10% extra time if required. Additional information clearly outlining the practical tasks can be found within the assessment plan on pages 13 to 23. The final assessment type is the professional review. This assessment is conducted remotely with the IMI independent assessor. The professional review has a duration of 1 hour. During this time, the apprentice will discuss how they apply specific knowledge, skills, and behaviours in their role. They will also be required to provide a portfolio where they can produce examples of how they met specific KSBs. The portfolio will allow the apprentice to exemplify their performance. The specific details that will be covered during the professional review are detailed here on this slide. Full details of the knowledge, skills, and behaviours covered in the professional review and how they are graded can be found within the assessment plan on pages 27 to 30. Prior to the apprentice progressing to their endpoint assessment, each apprentice must have completed the requirements listed in this slide. They must have completed a portfolio throughout the duration of their apprenticeship, and each apprentice must achieve and be certificated for maths and English. These prerequisites must be submitted to the IMI prior to the apprentice progressing on the endpoint assessment. All assessment requirements and assessment types for the Autocare apprenticeship are produced by the Autocare Employer Group. All regulatory requirements for this standard is maintained by the Office of Qualifications and Examinations Regulation. Further details regarding this standard can be found on the Institute for Apprenticeships and Technical Education website. I hope you found this presentation useful and it has given you a good understanding of the Autocare endpoint assessment requirements. If you require any further guidance regarding the endpoint assessment process or how the IMI can support you, please contact us via the contact details shown.